Hello and welcome to Geordieland 1892. Yesterday saw 1 year and 1 day since the Newcastle United takeover. Newcastle took on Brentford at St James's Park, and what a game it was. Yesterday was a great occasion that turned into an emphatic celebration, to be fair. The Toon Army and the players all doing their bit to make a special day from it. All I can say about Newcastle United yesterday was that they were rampant, absolutely rampant. Let's not forget the fantastic job that the folks at War Flags did and the volunteers. It was quite special, quite unbelievable. They did say they were going to do something different for this celebration, and that they did. A giant surfer flag, basically commemorating the takeover. It was beautifully done, some fantastic photographs in it. There was a caption at the side with all of the players since we've signed since the takeover, and right at the bottom there was banners with the volunteers holding them, and it was a bit of a swipe, a bit of a hilarious swipe at TalkSport and Simon Jordan. Like I say, yesterday's game, I mean, it was purely belter, it really was. And you know, the players did not let us down, and they didn't let the new owners down actually either. Just after 5 minutes, really, 5 minutes of playing the game, you know, Bruno Guimaraes just showed us a glimpse of what was coming. He sprayed this beautiful ball out to Miggy Almiron way out there on the wing, and Miggy Almiron, just as much class, by the way, he comes snaking back in, and he basically, he's just shimmying across the 18-yard box, you know, riding challenges and everything. He finds his angle and he gets his shot away. It's a blind shot. He's leathered it, and you think it's going to go in the top corner, but just then the Brentford goalkeeper Rhea sticks one arm out and manages to push it right over the post, over the bar even, and it really was a great save. But it was a world-class moment from Miggy. 10 minutes later, really, I mean, the game was to and fro, up and down the pitch, end to end, and 10 minutes later, kind of out of the blue, really, Newcastle find themselves 1-0 down. Unbelievable. I was a bit shocked and stunned, really. It just seemed really easy. The ball eventually going to Ivan Toney, ex-Newcastle, and he kind of dummies it, he jumps over it, and it gets through to Brian Mabermo, and you know, he takes it first time, moves off, and he slots it home. Doesn't really give Pope much of a chance. People did say he should have done better, but close quarters like that, could have went anywhere. But he did. He's put it in the back of the net. But out of the blue, VAR appear, and basically they start looking for an offside, and the referee goes to the monitor, has a look and everything, and you know the protocol, and eventually, yes, he's offside, and the goal is chalked off. Phew. So yes, VAR comes to our rescue again. I don't know what's happening there. I made a video about VAR never really helping us out not that long ago, but lately it seems to have been on our side. Now, after that let-off for Newcastle, I have to say, you know, it perked them up quite a bit. Not that they were playing badly initially, but they were moving forward in waves, powering forward at times. And, you know, Brentford were finding it difficult to cope with, to be fair. But, you know, on 21 minutes, Newcastle got a corner, and the corner is played out to the very edge of the box to Kieran Trippier, and Trippier delivers an absolutely beautifully precise ball deep in over into the far post, where Bruno Guimaraes is standing hovering about, and he throws himself at it, and he scores an absolute peach of a goal with a fantastic diving header, fantastic, and gives the goalkeeper no chance. It's in the top corner there, and what a goal by Bruno. It was just pure class. Trippier over to Bruno, and Bruno just throws himself at it. Beautiful goal. Now, just 6 minutes later, Brentford play a back pass to Rhea, their goalkeeper, and Jacob Murphy, who by the way had a fabulous game yesterday, decides just to go and press high. He decides that he's going to chase it, and he goes after it, and I'm just thinking this is going to come to nothing. He's just going to clear the ball, but he actually puts so much pressure on the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper makes a mistake. He plays it to Callum Wilson, and Callum Wilson, who was in the box, he moves forward, and Jacob Murphy just goes wide into the middle of the goal area where the 6-yard box on the 6-yard box line, and Callum Wilson plays a delightful little ball across to him, and it's a tap in for Jacob Murphy, and Jacob Murphy made that goal really out of nothing. It'll be the easiest goal that he'd probably ever score in his career, but fair play to Callum Wilson for being not greedy and sharing that ball. It was the obvious option, but it was blushes all over for Rhea like. So anyway, Newcastle go in 2-0 up at half time, and as we come out for the second half, basically, Mr. Pope is called to action, and he makes a really good save, really low save. Yeah, round of applause, because it was important, very, very important that he made that save when he did. But unfortunately, a minute later, a cross comes in. Dan Burn jumps up in the air for the ball. He's got a frail in hand, and the ball kind of just hits off his hand. It does change the direction a bit. I'm afraid to say, I think by the rules it was a penalty. It looked a bit. He didn't know anything about it, to be fair. But the penalty's given, and who steps up to take it but Ivan Toney? 7 years since he's played for Newcastle, you know what I mean? Obviously he wanted to get a goal at St James's Park, and here's his chance, and he does. He steps up to the spot and he makes no mistake. 3 minutes later, it was unbelievable. On 55 minutes, the ball is being contested on the wing there. There's a few Newcastle players, get Dan Burns in there. There's a bit of a squabble for the ball. Willock's there. Anyway, Bruno gets his foot on the ball, and off he goes. He's racing down the pitch, and he obviously just thinks, well, let's see how far I can go. And eventually he gets to just over 20 yards out, and he leathers it. Absolutely a beast of a shot, and it goes straight in the bottom corner, giving Rhea no chance. And that was 3-1 to Newcastle at that point. Absolutely superb goal, and a great bit of skill, class by Bruno. So we'll move on to 64 minutes, and like I said, Jacob Murphy yesterday for me had a superb game. I really did think that he played well. Now, he has come under fire from me in previous videos, but I tell you what, if he can play like that week in, week out, unbelievable. But it just shows you, I'm sure Eddie Howe, the coach and staff are working with these players, and Murphy, he looked back to him former self yesterday. Maybe it's just because he's playing with much better players around him. That could well be it. But he came off in the 64th minute. Joe Linton came on, and he made kind of an instant effect, really. The way he is, his power, the way he is, and his strength. But he got involved later on, and he was making these superb little back heels to Bruno and Miggy. His confidence and his play is just so much different these days, and he really made a massive difference coming on that pitch. Fresh legs as well. 77 minutes, Bruno gives way. He's tired, he's got a bit of cramp, he gives way to that man, Alan Saint-Maximin. He was back, yay! But he came on the pitch, and he was doing his lovely little step overs, his tricky little tricks that he does, and it was great to see him back. 81 minutes, defender Pinnock for Brentford is basically messing about with the ball on the edge of the area, and Miggy runs in and picks his pocket. It was a terrible error from Pinnock, and Miggy rounds Rhea, and smashes it into the net, and it's 4-1, and St James's Park is just going absolutely nuts. It's gone electric, it's gone berserk, and 4-1, especially on the day that we're celebrating, or the day after the celebration of the takeover. You couldn't make it up, really, could you? So then we'll come to the 89th minute. Alan Saint-Maximin, he's been on the pitch and he's been causing problems, and because he's fit and raring to go, there's no stopping him. In the 89th minute, he does a bit of his trickery, and he plays a wonderful ball down the wing to Joe Linton, and Joe Linton cuts in there, and he plays a lovely ball about waist height, and it's meant for Chris Wood. But yet again, that Brentford defender, Pinnock, is first to the ball, and the goalkeeper's diving out to try and catch it, I believe. Pinnock gets first to the ball. He's trying to cut it out, but he puts it straight through his own net. Own goal for Pinnock. Bit of a mix-up between Pinnock and Ria there, personally. But to be honest, if Pinnock hadn't have put it through his own net, I really do believe Wood would have scored it. Now, all in all, it was a belting match yesterday. It was fantastic. What a way to celebrate a year on and the takeover. Bearing in mind, this time last year, we were in 19th position. Today, we're in 5th. And it's an unbelievable achievement. Yes, there's been money spent through 2 transfer windows, but Eddie Howe has brought in some amazing players, and players who, especially the players that came in the first window, realising that we were 19th in the Premier League, just believing in Eddie Howe's plan for the future. Now, that takes a good bit of credit, so like I say, it was an amazing day yesterday, and I hope everybody enjoyed it. That was my take on yesterday's game. Bit late, I know, I normally am, but if you like it, please hit the like button below, and if you like to subscribe to the channel, please subscribe. It doesn't cost you a penny, and you can see my ugly face more and more and more, if that didn't just frighten you off. Listen, from me, Geordieland 1892, after a super fantastic masterclass, Newcastle winning 5-1, 9 goals in 2 games. 9 goals in 2 games, and we've only conceded 2. So, brilliant. Geordieland 1892, all the best, and ciao for now.